Welcome guys back to another episode of Airstream Rifles. Today I'm going to be showing you how to modify your Crosman Diamondback Nitro Piston Elite. So guys, all these things that I have before you are all the modifications I did to my Crosman Fire. Now, not basically all of them, but just about. So basically what we're going to start with is reduction of recoil. So one of the best steps and one of the best ways to reduce recoil is you want to install a butt pad. This is a limb saver AirTech advanced recoil reduction system. It's very easy to do, nothing hard. For this system, you're going to need a large, and they do have medium, they do have small. So what you're going to do is take this out of the package and you're going to install it basically right on this. They do have a rubberish system on there, but it's not that advanced like the AirTech. The AirTech is way much better. You have at least an inch of reduction coil pad, so this actually helps a lot. So what you're going to do is take your limb saver butt pad and take it out the packaging, and as you can see, it observes a lot of recoil. It has at least an inch of nothing but recoil padding. So this is just going to help you have another step of recoil reduction. So, and there you go. That is just plain and simple as that. Not the best in the world of good looking, but it helps with reduction recoil. And that's what it's all about. So speaking of recoil, we're going to go ahead and take this upper receiver off by taking this screw off and the screw on the other side and the screw that's locating on the bottom of this. There's 3 screws to take that upper off. So what we're going to do is install this padding all inside that frame to reduce recoil as well. So that's another step you're going to do to reduce recoil. So guys, once you took the left side and the right side screw and the bottom screw off, the bottom, like I said, is located under here and it goes straight up, and the others are from the right to the left. So once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and take this off. It should come right off. All right, so there she is. Basically, nothing different. Check that out. So basically it's the same concept as majority of these air guns. So now that we have that upper off, we can basically investigate to see where that upper sits on this polymer frame. And what we're going to do is take this double-sided mounting tape and mount it all in the places where basically that upper sits on to reduce a lot more recoil. So with this reduction of recoil, along with the butt pad reduction of recoil, you're just going to get better and better with your shots. So guys, once you install this, this is exactly what it should look like. Now I'll explain to you why does it look all chopped up. I have 2 different sizes. I have a thinner, which is I installed right here in this area, and the thicker part I installed it here in this area. So why the thicker part? In the different areas, you can see this tape is a little bit thicker than the other. I'll compare them right there. There's just a tad bit thicker. So I investigated and I can tell that the nitro piston actually wears out on this part right here a lot more. So I decided to stick a much thicker. You will have a little bit of trouble putting that upper and squeezing it and pinching it while screwing it back together with your 3 screws. Now I have 3 screws. Make sure you remember where they go. I actually remember where these go, and I've done it several times. So do not take off the upper part. Do not take off this second part of the tape. I don't have it taken off yet. You can if you want to. I usually don't. All right guys, so the next step, we're going to be mounting on the swivel bipod. This is the swivel screw attachment. All we're going to do is screw it in the center of that piece, that section of that polymer. This is a quick detachable super swivel. 1 inch. This is the screw that it comes with. So what you're gonna do is get you a bit that's about smaller than that screw. Turn your stock upside down, and we're basically gonna be screwing in the center of this whole area here. So what we're gonna do is basically get the drill, screw it right in the center. Just like that. So try to get you a needle nose, and it fits perfectly because the part of that screw has square ends on it. So you can just kind of pinch it like this, right? Stick it right here, put some pressure on it. All right, try to just keep it as straight as possible. Okay, so what you're gonna do is keep twisting that thing. Try to keep it as straight as possible. Screw it all the way down. Once you get it about good ways, you can use your Allen wrench, set, and then screw it back out. Don't forget to put this plastic piece in there. I don't know, that's just me, and that's what I like to do. So once you got your pieces in there, you can use this Allen wrench. Screw it back down. Perfect. So this is how you mount this bad boy. Take this thing off. Loosen this up, and it should pop up just like this. Take this out. There's a little plastic deal. So when you loosen this up, it brings this down, just so you can able to basically squeeze it and put it back up in there. Just like that. Just in case you don't know, when you loosen this up, it opens up those prongs, and when you tighten it up, it closes them. So that's basically how that works. And that should be it right there. Nice and tight. Oh yeah, look at that. Cool. As you can see, easy attachment, nothing difficult. Uncle Mike's swivel mounts really help out a lot. All right, moving on to our next mod. It's the adjusting screw mod, which is this screw right here. That's the adjusting screw. So what basically I did was purchase a longer screw. That's it right here. It's just longer. Same thread, same diameter, just longer. So basically, if you screw that screw down, it can meet that trigger bar right up in there. So basically it extends out and then it sets it off. So what we're going to do is make that screw touch that little bar just a little bit more by installing a new screw. So that way you don't have to pull back so far. So we're going to be taking this little screw out. This is magnetic. So now doing this is going to affect your warranty, okay guys? Just to let you know. So as you can see, the factory screw, it's a really short little deal. So you don't want to screw this one all the way down. as you see, fits right in there. You're gonna see it make some contact. Like I said, you don't want to screw it all the way down. You see it? It's already making contact. You don't want to screw it all the way down. And it should be shorter. Oh yeah, it's a lot shorter. Now you can make it short as you want to, but do not screw it all the way down. Not like the other ones say. Give it a little space. That's perfect. Now that's another mod right there to shorten up that slack to make that trigger a lot more crisp. Moving on to the next mod, we're going to be modifying the trigger. Now we're going to be using an RC bearing. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this. This goes to a RC racing car. It's a bearing, and this is the part number and the name of the brand. Now what we're going to be doing is taking off this C-clamp. We're not going to be taking off this nor this one over here on this end. Don't take these two off, just this one. So before we even get started, that little screw that I told you to put in earlier, make sure we just back that up just a little tad bit. Make sure we're not activating a little bit of pressure there. So what you want to do basically is put this in this little pocket. As in here, you can see there's little pockets where you can stick these little hooks. It's a little special tool to get these off, but you can kind of twist this little C-clamp there any way you want. So what you want to do is put your hand over it, and there she popped off. So she didn't go far as long as you put your hand over it. That's the most important thing. Now what you want to do, I'll zoom this in. What you want to do is get this hook, push into that pin, out. All right, on the other side, there's a little notch there where you can just pull on it. Now you see immediately she jumped out of there. That's just the concept we're gonna get. All right, guys, so basically I was wrong. You can't modify this thing. You can't put a bearing. You're supposed to put a bearing inside this little slot, put the pin back in, but we have to know this. You can't do this to this model. Looks like this mod won't be able to succeed in this platform. I apologize to the crowd. I literally thought that we would be able to put that on there, but we got the screw mod, so you know that helps out. Now it's like I said before, this is metal, so this ain't plastic. So they actually did better their trigger a little bit more. In order to put this back together, I'll show you really quick. So what you want to do, you see a spring there and you see that slot basically has to land right exactly inside that spring. In the center of that spring, you put this back together along with the pin that goes in from underneath this way, and then with this little clip back into there. So this is a learning lesson here, guys, just to let you know the platform is almost exactly the same. I didn't notice right off the bat there was, when you take the trigger off, there's a little bit of more milling here, several holes, and obviously you can't do this to this model. So like I said, apologize to you guys, but you have to know. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how to put this back together like I promised. Make sure that's hitting the slot perfect. You need someone to give you an extra hand, go for it, man. Get this pin, shove it from the bottom. See that there? Right through. Make sure it works pretty good before we put this back on. We might have to take it back off, who knows. But since we know that's working, put your finger, be careful, just put your finger over it so it won't pop up nowhere. I'm not really touching it, just put your finger over it. Perfect. Snap right back in there, and that's it, bud. Apologize for that mod. Like I said, it's a live and learn thing, but it's a metal trigger, and I'm actually happy for what they have already. So it's kind of better than the plastic, but looks like we can't mod it, guys. So thumbs down on that, debunk that, but good. Let's proceed with the next mod. Now, guys, I'm gonna basically install this Picatinny rail system. Now, what I did with this Picatinny rail system was grind off the back end. You can choose to use longer screws. It's up to you, whatever goes up to your measurements. The only reason why I don't want them too long, because when you cock the barrel, those two screws that are poking out can scratch your barrel. Now, if you're like me, you know, OCD, whatever you want to call it, I kind of don't like that. So like I said, this multi-tool is pretty cool. Got different settings. So what I did was grind it off until it was smooth. And it's real easy. I didn't want to bore you with that, but this is the multi-tool, $15, $20 at Walmart. And so after when I did that, I basically got this padding and put some padding right here in this Picatinny rail. And the reason for that was because if you purchase a flashlight and everything, the less recoil you have on that, the better. Now, all you have to do is just basically take this drill and poke the holes back through the other way, just like that. Just like that. That's no problem. Okay, once you do that, just cut off all the excess around this, and I'm going to show you how to install this. And then the way I mounted the rail and drilled the holes on the frame, I basically pinched this with my hand. Now, get as much as flat of the surface that you possibly can. And what I did is just basically put this up there and pinched it with my hand. Drill one hole. Make sure you watch your fingers. You don't want to drill your fingers, but I'll drill one, then I'll drill the other. Now, this is the way I did it. Now, if I were you, get you a vice clamp or something, you know. Me, I knew exactly what spot to grab it in. I kind of grabbed it right here in the back center, and I knew exactly my finger was completely out of the way. So I went ahead and pressed it this way, pressed it that way, and just hoped that I didn't get my finger. That is a dangerous way. So if I were you, just get you a clamp it down, and it should help you out. Now, very simple way I usually mount this is with the screwdriver. For some reason, it comes out to a perfect size. Now, if you do not get the perfect size, you can waddle them out, but this should screw in pretty easy. Just make sure you have enough screw in the back end to put that nut. That's all you have to make sure. And with that little grinding tool, you can cut the rest off. If you want to put on a lock washer, lock washers are really good for recoil. That way none of your nuts and stuff will fall off while, you know, you're engaging performing basically. All right, so that's pretty much it. What the rear end, basically just get these little nuts right here and just screw them on there. I'm gonna try to do it without the camera in my hand. Let's see what happens here. See if I can at least do one. So it looks like you do have enough room there for some lock washers. Put a lock washer in there, and if this thing pokes out too much or anything like that, just cut the excess off. Cut it to where that piston won't be in the way. And we'll see how she turns out, guys. If not, you'll have to probably change this into a nut, since this thing is a lot thicker. So there it is, guys. It's mounted. So basically, the way I mounted it, screwdriver on one end, and then I use the needle nose on the other end. So that's basically what I did. Like I said, you have to do it by hand. that's it, man. I mean, we're just gonna put the upper back on and see where it goes from here. All right, so we're gonna be putting the upper receiver back. Make sure you go ahead and adjust that screw while it's already out. So me, I already have it to making contact. So we're gonna be sticking the upper receiver back into the stock. And look at that, it fell just right in place. Make sure you keep this sling mount correctly. So if I were you, screw the bottom first. I would highly recommend you do the bottom first and then screw in your sides, okay? So I got this thing up in the air. I'm gonna tilt it just a tad bit, but I'm gonna grip a hold of the bottom. Stick that screw in there. All right, guys, so we got a scope in from Amazon. I can't really pronounce that name, but there you go. It takes a CR 2032 battery, $29.99. Eliminated red dot reticule, red or green switch. It comes with all this flip up bikini tops, whatever you want to call those. So we're going to be putting double-sided mounting tape on these brackets as well, so we can reduce the vibration. That's going to be delivering to our scope as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that the same way here. We're going to put the double-sided tape on both of these mounting scope rings. So give me a chance to do that, and I'll be back with you. All right, guys, so there you go. You see double-sided mounting tape on the rail section and the rifle scope. So the whole reason why we do this on the scope rings on the rifle scope is because, you know, some individuals spend a lot of money on these optics, and we want to secure that with the harmonics and vibrations of these systems. So I've heard a lot of stories of the nitro piston basically destroying a lot of scopes by the vibration and harmonics. The fact that these rams have a lot of impact on them, and they knock the crosshairs out of alignment and damaging the scopes. So we're basically helping you out with accuracy and basically saving you a lot of money on your optics. Same rule applies with the flashlight mount. It's basically what I use it for, but individuals will spend a lot of money on infrared flashlights and things like that. Now, how do you know if that rail attachment system is aligned well? I couldn't tell you if it is or not. Most likely it will not be. But you can find a flashlight mount that has windage and elevation. So you can basically sight that flashlight to whatever you're basically firing at, or target practice, whatever you're doing. But you can basically sight that in like a scope or like a laser. So let's talk about the prices. $29.99 for the Gamo scope. That's a 3-9 by 40 with a power dial, red and green mil dot illuminated reticule, which is awesome. Look at those caps that pretty much match the grip. What a coincidence. It was meant to be. The Amazon Picatinny rail at $9, $8 individually, along with the $5 just sling, just the sling, not the mounts. The sling mounts already came with the product of the Crosman rifle. Now look at this beautiful Caldwell bipod that was at $17.99 from Amazon. Wonderful price. All these things I found on sale. Now let's move on to the butt pad. The butt pad is a limb saver butt pad that I purchased at Academy for about $12.99. That's 13 bucks. An awesome deal for all these products. Now, this is the size of the RC bearing, as I showed you earlier. This is the size of the RC bearing, the name, the brand, the number of the part. Now, this is the original screw, the factory screw that comes for your trigger mod. All right, trigger adjusting screw. That's it right there. So that's the original size that comes with, and you're going to buy from the hardware store this size. So basically all you're doing is lengthening in that screw. So as you've seen the review, as you've seen all the things that I showed you, so this is all the prices. All the accessories run out to about $85. Now all the bearings and the trigger screw and all that about $8. So it takes about $8 to do several mods. But if you want accessories like the bipod, the recoil pad, the scope, the Picatinny rail, Uncle Mike swivel mounts, and the sling, those are all accessories, and that ran up to about $85. That's not including just the performance parts like the double-sided mounting tape that I found at Harbor Freight for about $2. The adjusting trigger screw for about 38 cents at the hardware store. That's a mom and pop store, 38 cents. RC bearing, I found that at the tire store here in my own town. They sell a bunch of RC cars, RC parts, and I found that for a 2-pack of RC bearings. But thumbs down, since we couldn't do the trigger mod with that RC bearing on this platform. And if you saw the video, you see the reason why. And if you're familiar with these concepts, basically these rifles almost look the same. But we found out today that that is not always true. So you can't do it to almost every platform. Now this trigger is a very nice trigger. I really like that trigger, and I'm not very disappointed at all because we couldn't do that trigger mod, but maybe later on in the future. So the rifle alone was $179.99 at Bass Pro Shop. I found that at Missouri, Springfield Bass Pro. I did a review on it, so go check out that review. And it also shows you how to mount a scope properly. But with all these accessories and everything, is gonna show the performance on accuracy. I like to drive that butt pad into my shoulder. But before the butt pad, it was just the hard stock alone. And then, I mean, after a while, it kind of hurts. But check it out. $273 with everything. But I found all these things on sale. If I would have never found some of these items on sale, I would have paid a lot more just at my retail store. So bounce around, man. Do your research on products. If you like this rifle, if you like the accessories, if you like the video piece, thumbs up, thumbs down. But I basically just showed you how to reduce the majority of the recoil. Couple of mods here. Like I said, I apologize for misleading you to believe that probably this model could be modified as far as the trigger RC bearing. But I'm not disappointed in that because I like the metal trigger that it comes with, guys. So like I said, $179.99 for the rifle and $85 for the accessories, $8 for just the performance parts. That's a total of $93, and all together will be $273 if you decided to just buy it all at once. So guys, for all of you that love this channel, please like, please subscribe. To all the new individuals that are coming into this channel, I hope you love the content. Thank you so much. God bless each and every one of you, and long live the Republic. And thank you, veterans, so much. God bless.